Look at that number, an $80,000 symbol of absolute peak success, selling for the exact same price as a base model, plastic trim Toyota Corolla. To the average buyer, it feels like a loophole, like you've somehow gamed the system and found a secret cheat code hidden in plain sight. The leather is still soft. The cabin is still dead silent at 80 miles an hour. To the rest of the world, nothing has changed. The badge on the hood still screams status. But that exact illusion is precisely why these cars are the most dangerous financial landmines in the Western market. See, human brains are fundamentally wired to evaluate value at the exact point of sale. We look at the sticker price, and we think that's the end of the story. It's a massive psychological mismatch. The first owner paid 80 grand for prestige. The second owner, they aren't paying for prestige, they are paying for unmitigated complexity. Automotive giants don't sell transportation. They sell identity. A luxury badge communicates that you've arrived long before you ever open your mouth. It compresses years of financial assumptions into a fraction of a second. And that perception carries massive economic value. It's why corporate executives, hedge fund managers, and high-income professionals gladly lease these machines new. But here's the catch. For those original buyers, ownership lasts exactly 3 years. As soon as the manufacturer warranty expires, they run. They don't leave because the car broke. They leave because the economics of keeping it no longer make sense. The vehicle hits the second-hand market, the entry fee drops, and the middle class jumps at it. But let's be entirely clear. The first owner didn't eliminate the cost of luxury. They just outsourced the worst part of it to you. Most people assume cars lose value in a neat, straight line. A predictable drop every single year. It's comforting, it's neat, and it's completely wrong. Mainstream luxury assets undergo brutal, exponential depreciation. The steepest financial cliff happens right at the beginning. Why? Because rich people don't buy used luxury, they chase absolute novelty. The slightly redesigned headlight, the newer infotainment screen, the refreshed grille pattern. Those minor updates don't change how the car drives, but they completely destroy its perceived status. And in this market, status depreciates significantly faster than steel. The moment a model gets a facelift, the older generation immediately becomes a visual marker of expired status. The badge alone cannot stop economics. Supply eventually catches prestige. And there is another force quietly working beneath the surface, the manufacturers themselves. They don't merely sell cars, they sell monthly payments, residual value projections, lease incentives. Entire financial ecosystems are built around encouraging customers to replace vehicles every few years rather than keep them indefinitely. Depreciation is not simply an unfortunate consequence. It is one of the primary mechanisms that keeps this entire multi-billion-dollar machine moving. When thousands of identical corporate lease returns flood the Western wholesale auctions simultaneously, basic economics takes over. Supply completely obliterates prestige. The market isn't judging whether the car is good or bad, it's just reacting to an absolute oversupply of vehicles that no one wants to hold out of warranty. The entry fee plummets. It looks like an incredible bargain, but the mathematics have already shifted. The entire marketing engine of a premium brand is designed around one word: simplicity, one touch, one button, one seamless, effortless drive. But what buyers forget is that simplicity for the driver requires catastrophic complexity underneath the dashboard. We're talking about radar-guided cruise systems, power-closing doors, thermal night vision cameras, and adaptive air suspension modules. Modern luxury cars aren't mechanical machines anymore. They are rolling computer networks, and complex networks age horribly. For the first 3 years, all that experimental tech is covered under a comprehensive factory warranty. If an onboard computer module fries itself, the manufacturer writes it off. But by year 5, every single heat cycle, every winter humidity shift, every road vibration is eating away at thousands of microelectronics simultaneously. Take air suspension as a prime example. Steel springs cost almost nothing and last forever. Air suspension uses an interconnected ecosystem of air compressors, height sensors, pressurized lines, and rubber bladders to give you that floating feeling. The moment one tiny rubber line cracks from age, the compressor runs continuously to compensate. overheats, and burns out. Suddenly, a minor plastic leak turns into a multi-$1,000 total system rebuild. The used buyer thinks they bought an $80,000 car at a 70% discount. What they actually bought was deferred mechanical chaos. The price tag dropped, the engineering didn't. When people think about expensive car ownership, they always panic about the price of the parts. But parts are only half the trap. The real killer in the Western market? It's time. In the United States, the UK, and Western Europe, human labor is one of the most expensive commodities on Earth. If you take a standard vehicle to a local garage, the hourly rate is manageable. But specialized European import mechanics, or a dedicated dealership service bay, you are looking at $250 to over $300 an hour, just for the technician to look at your car. And modern luxury cars are deliberately engineered with zero regard for serviceability. Components are packed so tightly into the engine bay that replacing a simple $50 plastic coolant hose often requires a mechanic to dismantle the entire front bumper, radiator, and steering rack. That is 7 hours of labor for a $50 piece of plastic. You aren't paying for the part, you are paying for the precision required to reach it. Worse yet, the supply chain for these low-volume luxury components is incredibly narrow. If an economy car part is stocked at 5 local stores down the street, a specialized European module might take weeks to ship across the ocean. Your car sits stranded at the shop. Meanwhile, your life doesn't stop. You're paying for rental cars, dealing with lost productivity, and watching the storage fees stack up. There is no shortcut around complexity in the West. Someone always has to pay for the hours. There is a massive cultural myth that wealthy people drive expensive cars simply because they love throwing money around. The reality is far more calculated. Elite business owners and affluent professionals rarely buy these assets with personal cash. They lease them through corporate entities. They write off the depreciation as an official business expense. They use them to lower their corporate tax liabilities. To the original owner, the car is an optimized piece of a much larger tax strategy. But when a middle-class buyer purchases that exact same car used, the financial equation completely flips. You are buying it with hard, post-tax personal income. Every repair bill directly competes with your emergency fund, your investments, or your family vacation. The luxury car market is a beautifully designed siphon. It uses the intense psychological craving for status to trick middle-class buyers into acquiring massive, unmanageable corporate liabilities. The badge on the hood never changes, but the underlying economics absolutely do. The first owner purchased pure convenience. The second owner purchased the steepest drop of depreciation. The third owner inherits the entire weight of the complexity. They all sat in the exact same leather seat, but they each bought a completely different product. Next time you see a high-end luxury car selling for dirt cheap online, don't look at the entry fee. Ask yourself if you can actually afford everything that comes after you turn the key. True wealth is quiet. The traps, however, are deafening. Subscribe, and we'll see you in the next breakdown.